if you want proof on how impactful great marketing can be, check out this conversation with Jamie Curd where she talks about how great marketing not only impacts her brand locally, but creates a national presence for her business.
I love talking about difficult deals, but one of my favorite things to talk about is marketing. And I think that you do a great job of marketing yourself in a lot of different ways. Most real estate agents, or a lot of them, kind of pigeonhole themselves into one aspect of marketing. And so you've obviously branded yourself. Like, you see teal, you think of Jamie Mixon, right? I mean, you just have. And I think that it's a great thing. You've really done a great job with that. But following the MRA model and then having a social media plan and maybe the relationship side, again, I think you touch on all of them. But let's just talk about marketing in general. What's your favorite way to generate business for whatever business you have?
I mean, I'm still old school. I'm still Facebook, which I'm hacked out right now, if anybody's wondering where I'm at. Got hacked on Christmas Eve, third time in a year and a half. But I'm normally very successful in beating them and getting them back. I have not had to, knock on wood, delete and restart. So I pray I don't have to do that because it is a thing that I love to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like people just want to see the real you. They want to see what you're doing, what you love, and they also don't mind seeing your work.
You're talking about social media, right? Yeah, I mean, I think the one of the biggest things people miss on social media is that they want to appeal to everybody. When the reality is, if you talk about being genuine and do true self, the point of it, in my opinion, is to attract the right people to you.
Yeah.
If you are honest with yourself, you're genuine, and you put your true self forward, you're going to have people come to you that are going to be that align with you, either value wise, experience wise, or they're going to like what you're putting out there. And so, social media is a huge part of business, and I think globally people are acknowledging that, but I think locally people are still scared of it, and they don't know what to do or say or how to do it, or think it's expensive. But the reality of it is, you figured out a way to make it very efficient. And so, tell us about how you implement the systems of your social media marketing.
So now I have leverage.
Yeah.
So I have a virtual assistant that is a rock star, and he's in the Philippines. He's been with me for almost 2 years now. And I ain't gonna lie, I was scared because number one, I was doing all of my social media before that, just a control freak and just wanting to like have it all. But I also realized that I needed leverage if I wanted to do all these other things. And so it took me a while to finally get over like getting a VA. Everybody was like, oh, you got to have one. They're great. They're great. They're great. And I'm like, but how is this person going to know how to be me, you know? And he is killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people think that I'm on social media all day long, and I'm really not. You can tell when it's me because then it gets a little more personal versus just the normal. But he has learned how to integrate my colors that I love, my Jeep that I love, my family that I love, my dogs, like it's amazing.
Yeah. How did you go about finding him?
Keller Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
They have a company called Cyberbacker that a KW agent started. And
they provide VAs.
Yeah.
So when you're utilizing a VA, you're providing them with content, right? So you did your photo shoots, you did all the stuff. You provide them with the content that you want and kind of the plan. And it takes a little bit of time, I'm sure, but after a while, he kind of learns what you want, and then they just kind of post it for you.
Yeah, he'll send it to me. Do you approve this? Do you approve that? I'm like, you might have a hashtag wrong or the city wrong, but it's okay. Like, other
You
than
make
that,
little edits and oversights, yeah.
So that gives you more time to focus on the other stuff. All right, so when it comes to the marketing that you do from a relationship standpoint, a lot of times when I refer to relationships, I'm thinking about kind of the ninja selling mentality, about how you continue to stay in touch with your sphere and all that type of stuff. But before we get into that, the relationships that you have with your referral partners, that's both giving and receiving referrals, right? So how do you manage that type of a relationship?
So we basically get together at any kind of convention or class, like out of state, out of city. We also have, group texts and group Facebook chats and all these things that we communicating daily, multiple times a day. Like sometimes I got to turn it off because I'm like, are y'all selling real estate? What are y'all doing? Like we have a chit chat one. We have so many different ones.
And so are all these people a referral network you've created to where there's like one person in a bunch of different cities that you connect with? Okay. Very cool.
So I basically have one person that I refer business to in almost every state. And then within certain cities or, quadrants of the state.
And I think that's also a huge part with social media is staying top of mind with those people too.
Yeah.
you know?
And it's awesome because your listing, if you put a house on the market with me, is now getting also seen and shared by all those people because that's how we support each other.
Yeah.
So we'll have like featured listing of the month, even though, she's in California and I'm here. She's posted my luxury listing, to California agents or, buyers and sellers. So
Is there one person that kind of is the ringleader within?
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that you?
no,
No.
I don't
How
want
did
that.
you-
She said no.
Yeah. How'd you get acclimated into the group? How'd you get brought in?
It just kind of happens organically and slowly, like just from going to things. So like, one person takes you under their wing and then, they start introducing you to all their friends and all their people. And then if they like you and they like the way you do business and they want to trust their business with you, then it just kind of grows from
Because
that.
that's a huge part of referrals, especially in the real estate agent world. It's like not all agents are created equal, and they want to make sure if they refer someone.
Yeah, because that was my next thing. How do you know that the people in the group are the type of people that you want to be doing business with?
Right. And so that's where you have to invest a little bit more time in those people and do
get to know
things
them.
outside of just calling them and saying, hey, I have a referral for you. So I'm in one of my groups right now that I'm in. There's about 50 something of us, and I'm new to this particular group. But some of those people within that group I've been with
from
for
elsewhere.
years,
Yeah.
right? And so they had, been trying to get me into the group. But I just still wasn't comfortable because I didn't know enough of them to feel like I only wanted to use them in San Diego.
Yeah.
So it took me going to events and still doing things with their group, even though I wasn't officially in their group, to really make sure that these were the people that I wanted to do business with and that I wanted to send. If you said, Jamie, I'm moving to San Diego, who you got? I got somebody that I know I can trust.
Yeah.
And so, I've been in it now for that particular group for about 8 months now.
Talk about a life by design. I can imagine having a really good business excuse to go travel to San Diego now to go visit somebody that you might be referring business
And they
to.
do. They do so many things outside of, real estate conventions together. They just came back from a big trip in Colorado, which I wasn't able to go because this house has got me locked down right now. But yeah, they get together and just hang out and mastermind and do all the things that like-minded people, and so much comes out of that. Y'all know about being in the right place and the right conversation is just an open door for opportunity.
So I go to conferences all over for in the investing world. It has grown to I go to 6 to 10 of them a year. So, and one of my friends said it right. He said, man, if my family broke down in just about any part of the U.S., I could call someone up and say, hey, do you mind going help them?
Yeah.
Or if it was me, broke
That's
down, right?
exactly what happened with these hurricanes and like evacuating. Like they're all like, hey, I got a house. Hey, if you need this, I got that. Like they're more than just a bunch of realtors. Like they are literally
they're
your
allies,
family.
they're friends. And I think that's a step where, the majority, all of my business is referral or repeat business. So, so much of business comes from people being like, hey, I like how you do business. They want to send people my way, right?
Yep.
Huge. But the thing is got to get beyond being transactional, right? And you've got to get to know these people. Going and doing things with them is, huge, where people feel comfortable enough saying, I feel comfortable tying my name to you.
Yeah.
Well, I literally, an agent had brought me a pocket listing that was a difficult situation, a property that just failed to sell on the market. They're now like, hey, we're 2 months behind. What are we going to do? And I went 2 days ago, so the day before Christmas Eve, and we're sitting down and in their living room talking with them. And he's like, he at the very end, he said, if my family member was in trouble, I would tell them go talk to Courtney. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at him, I said, bro, hit me in the feels there, because that's a big compliment. Mm-hmm. And it's not so easy tying your name to other people. And so to have a strong referral based business, honestly, speaks highly especially when people want to, send, buying and selling a house is a big deal. And so people wanting to send business to, that's huge.
Yeah. So I want to just get a perspective, like your referral based part of your business, like how lucrative is that for you? How many deals are you doing a year within your referral network?
At least 75% of my business comes from
large portion of
referrals, whether it's from my referral agents or past clients, friends, and family.
Okay, so the perfect transition, because I get so passionate about real estate agents who tell me that they have a database of thousands and thousands of people. Makes no sense to me, right? In my mind, if you're going to have a database, it should be of your past clients, people that you can actually speak to and have a conversation with. So if you don't agree with that, I'd love to hear why, but just from a relationship standpoint, I know we talked about your referral basis, but how are you staying in touch with your past clients?
I call and text my past clients like I do my friends.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, yesterday and the day before yesterday and today, I mean, my phone is full of me calling and wishing Merry Christmas to all my clients and past clients.
Yeah.
I think that is huge. Now that the market has kind of shifted as much as it has since COVID, I don't do as many like what we call pop buys, where I used to, monthly go drop something off on their door or their mailbox and all that stuff, just cutting the fat. I've had to make some expense cuts on those kind of things, but that they just want to hear from you, So just a simple Merry Christmas or how's the new house or I'm in your neighborhood, like just thought of you, wanted to say hi, those kind of things are huge.
Yeah, I think a lot of people overthink the whole idea of staying in touch with your past clients. I mean, you just consistently be nice and add value to people, and sometimes adding value is just being nice. Sometimes adding value is presenting them with some more information about their house or buying them lunch or giving them a gift. But it's the bar is lower than people think it is when it comes to staying in touch with your past clients.
It's crazy because I do have, you said about a database. So I do have a big database. My database is probably almost 9,000 people in it. Some of those might be duplicates. I need to scrub it, of course. But I used to buy leads back when I was a new agent because I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any business. So like for the first 3 years, I was investing, small amounts of my money into like Zillow and Realtor.com and stuff like that. And so my database is kind of from that, but I haven't bought leads since 2015.
Yeah.
So those people are still in there, and I organically every now and then send a campaign or, a text or something to them, just seeing. And sometimes I have luck, eventually somebody,
Turns
decides
into
to
something.
respond.
Yeah.
I get a lot of unsubscribes, and that's okay too, because that's not where my bread and butter is. So that's just lanyard.
Yeah, it's just like the social media mindset. Like you send an email out, you get some unsubscribes. That's not your person you want to be in touch with.
Yeah.
Right. So it's good that the sooner that they leave, the less time you spend on
Well,
them.
and
less
just
money you
because
spend.
they unsubscribe don't necessarily mean that they're not going to use it. It means they just don't want to see those emails
I'm
anymore.
like, don't take it personal. I unsubscribe from people's shit all the time because I'm overwhelmed by my emails. And I just wish I had less.
I do take it personal because I'm a high I, but I'm also a high D, so I get it, and I don't want it as well.
Yeah.
So, but I get my feelings hurt. I'm like, oh, they unsubscribed. I just closed the house with them. I thought they liked me, but then they left me a 5-star review. So,
Yeah.
they just don't want to be
Yeah,
bothered
to
with
everyone
that.
I've unsubscribed from, I'm not, it's not personal. It's because I'm personally overwhelmed with my emails.
Yeah.
I just unsubscribed from Under Armour. I doubt they're.
I mean,
gonna
just
care.
send a text instead. Like
Yeah.
whatever the email was going to say, just text them.